Hi everybody, Ellen here. It is once again time for another book haul. So I thought, I would share all of the books I bought during the month of November, and as always there's quite a shitload of books. But this is also supposed to be my last book haul of the year, so hopefully I will not buy any books in December, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we're gonna count how many books we have and then we're gonna go through it. Okay, so this book haul is actually not as bad as the last few have been because I have only 14 books to talk to you guys about. So I mean, it's not good, but it's not horrifically bad either. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first book I want to talk about is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the sequel to Renegades. I think it's supposed to be 3 books now. It was supposed to be a duology originally, but now it's supposed to be 3 books. And I loved the first book so freaking much, and I want to read this one so bad. So in the first book we meet Nova and Adrian is sort of a part of this renegades group, and they kind of rule the city sort of because they make up the rules and they make sure that people are following them. And now we have Nova, and she's actually one of the anarchists, and they sort of hate the people in charge, and she has very good reasons for it, So people in these books have superpowers. They're really kick-ass, and I freaking love the first book so freaking much, and I really do need to reread it because I want to read this one. But I mean, it's gonna be epic, I just know it. Then we actually have a review book from the publisher, and that is Super Sherlock Spökfällan by Camilla Läckberg and illustrated by Therese Larsson. Camilla Läckberg usually writes sort of crime novels, but she also started to write children's books last few years. And in this book I got a card from Camilla Läckberg where it says pretty much have a nice reading and hugs, and then there's a signature, and the book itself is actually signed too, so that's really awesome. So Super Charlie is a boy named Charlie, has sort of superpowers. He can fly, and he has like, what's it called? He has this sort of vision, and so he can look through walls and stuff, and he's pretty darn cool. And his sister, his little sister named Polly, she can actually sort of hypnotize people to do what she wants them to do. So if she wants them to act like dogs, they will. And in this one, there's sort of Charlie thinks there's a ghost in his house, and he's trying to figure out who is the ghost, what the hell is the ghost doing in his house, and he's trying to, play a trap for it. And this one was very funny. I love the illustrations as always, and the story was really funny. And I sort of feel like even though you're an adult, you would like this, even though this book is meant for 3 to 6 year olds, because sort of a little bit of adult humor in this one for sure. And then we have one of the books I've looked forward to for so long, and that's because I'm addicted to this author from this year and on. Because I read so many books by this author this year, and it's crazy. But the book is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Look at that cover, it's so beautiful and shiny, and it looks so beautiful. And I have read so many books by him this year. I think it's like 15 or maybe even more than that. I haven't counted in a while. Read only in this year, and that's crazy. But I love his books so much, and this one is supposed to be more of a sci-fi story really. So in this one we meet, what's her face, Spencer, and her world is being under attack for hundreds of years. There's an alien race called Krell who's trying to take over, and Spencer's always dreamed of being one of the pilots who's going to be, the heroes when the humans are saved. And it sounds really cool. I love Brandon Sanderson's books. This is quite chunky, but it's definitely on the smaller side when it comes to Brandon Sanderson's books. But I mean, I know I'm going to love this one, so I really want to read it very soon, like yesterday actually. And then we have Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is the sequel to Vicious, and this was chunky, but I really do love this cover, and I do want to repurchase the first book in this cover since I unhauled my other copy, which I thought was sort of ugly-ish. But in the first one we meet Eli and Victor, and they're supposed to write this sort of paper in college about EOs, extraordinary people really, and these people have powers, and Eli and Victor's trying to figure out how they got their powers, why did they get them, and how can you, get your own. And they actually manage to get their own superpowers, and because they figure out how to do it, and 10 years later we get to follow them, and they're not really getting along because now they're on the opposite side of, good and bad really. But really no one is good and no one is like all through bad either, so it's really hard to tell. But I love the first book, but I really enjoyed the first book, so I look forward to reading this one. And then we have one book that I really spontaneously bought because I accidentally saw it on Goodreads, which happens to a lot of the books you buy these days. But this one is called Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I've never read anything by her before, but obviously I've heard a lot about her other series. But this one is supposed to be about so in this one, a temple burns to the ground. Yumeko escapes with a strange treasure, the first piece of this scroll called the Scroll of 1,000 Prayers. And when fate thrusts her into the path of mysterious samurai, she knows he seeks what she has. Cage is under orders to kill those who stand in his way, but will he be able to complete his mission? Will this be the dawn that sees the dragon wake? So, I mean, it's supposed to be really cool. It's samurai. I never read a samurai book before. I haven't really seen a lot of movies about it either. So I really do look forward to reading this one, and hopefully I will like it. And then we actually have 2 books in the same series. I have talked about this series a lot, but this is sort of the second era of it. But I bought books 3 and 4 in the second era. So we have Gryning and Stjärnljus by Aaron Hunter. These books are middle grade books. They're about cats and they're freaking awesome. I do still feel like I liked the first era more, but the second one's really good as well. I've been wanting to have these books for months and months and months, and I finally came in and bought them. So these are pretty much about cats living in sort of tribes, and they're trying to maintain their territory and trying to survive the weather phenomenons that they can come across and other different challenges they come across. And these books are so well written, and I love them, and you love the cats, and they're so cozy, and I love them so much, and I need to dive right into these ones. Then we actually have another book from the same author, but it's a different kind of series. So this is Splittrad Flock by Aaron Hunter. This is supposed to be the first book in Bravelands, and in this time we don't follow cats, but we follow other kinds of animals like lions, elephants, monkeys, and this is also about survival, trying to be the strongest so you can survive. But then there's this male lion who is trying to and then there's this male lion who actually breaks this sort of truce, and he decides to divide and conquer, and that obviously destroys the balance that has been, and the races are just trying to survive after this. I've heard great things about this series. I love the cover, and I do love the Warrior series, so hopefully this one will be just as good. But it's about animals, and I love animals, so hopefully it will do my expectations justice. Another very impulsive buy, but shit happens. But this is The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. I have never read anything by her before, but I do know she wrote I think it's a trilogy, but it's the Half-Bard trilogy, and this one just looks cool. It sort of reminds me of the chess game that was in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, even though it's really nothing of the same, but it's just players. I don't remember what this one is about, so we're going to find out. Okay, meet the Smoke Thieves, a shrewd princess whose father is plotting against her, an idealistic soldier turned traitor, a radicalized servant on a quest to avenge his family, a streetwise demon hunter in need of money, a charming thief with no clue about his true identity. Okay, so we have a lot of different point of views, They have very different backgrounds, and I think it will be a very good mesh. And of course, I couldn't have a Brandon Sanderson haul without hauling just one more Brandon Sanderson book. So that is Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. This is a novella that you're supposed to read between... This book you're supposed to read between the words of Radiance and Before Oathbringers. It's sort of a 2.5 novella, and previously they only have it in the other, cover, and I really wanted the... I think the publisher is called Golans, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they do the pretty covers that I do collect. So I need to wait for this one, and I haven't even started this series yet, but I've heard so amazing and incredible things, and I need to start it. But maybe I'll read Skyward first, but then I need to read this. But it's so beautiful, and this is supposed to follow one of the characters that you come across in that series, so hopefully, I will like that character. But the series is, as always with Brandon Sanderson's books, built about sort of, there is war, there's magic, and there's supposed to be incredible world building as well, and that's pretty much all I know. But I feel like when it comes to Brandon Sanderson's books, you don't really need to know a lot, because you just dive right in, you get thrown right into the plots and the characters and everything like that, and you will absolutely love it. So I have no doubt that I will love this novella as well. And then we have The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. This is part of the Rick Riordan Presents. So in this Rick Riordan Presents, there are all different books from different authors, and they follow different kind of mythology and cultures. And the first one was by Roshana Shakshi. So that followed one mythology, but this one is from a different author about different characters, and it actually follows Mayan mythology. And as you guys know by now, I really love mythologies overall. I absolutely no knowledge about Mayan mythology whatsoever, and that's what makes it even more interesting, and I really want to read this one. So we'll see how it goes. But the cover, I mean, look at that skull up there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it looks cool. And I don't know, but maybe you can guess the next one, because I did say that I would buy these books. But this is Harry Potter und der Gefangene von Azkaban. This is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, book 3 in the Harry Potter series. I hauled the first two in the series before. This is the German edition of Harry Potter, obviously, and this is actually the 20-year edition of these books. And I just saw these on Instagram a couple of months ago, first time around, and I think they're just gorgeous. Just like among the most beautiful Harry Potter books I've ever seen. And I did read German in school for a lot of years, and I feel like I've forgotten like most of it since I finished high school, but I'm still gonna make an effort of trying to read these, but it will probably take forever. But I mean, I needed to have these, and they're so gorgeous. I mean, look at it. We have Harry, we have this wanted poster for Sirius Black, we have the Time Turner, we have Sirius Black as a dog, and we have, the stag. And then on the back we also have McGonagall, so that's awesome. And they're so beautiful, and look at the spines. Like, if that's not the most beautiful spine I've ever seen, I don't know what is. So I'll definitely read these. Maybe I can finish like the first book before the year's over. We'll see how it goes, but I just needed to have them. And you can see book 1 and 2 right up here, and this one will definitely go up there with them. Now we only have 2 books left, and one of these were actually one of my most anticipated releases, and that was Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, the original screenplay. Look at this, it's so goldy and it's so shiny and it's gorgeous, just like the first book. We have stars on the end papers, and then underneath we have the Eiffel Tower. So it's not only fluid this time around, but it's still pretty darn gorgeous. So this is the original screenplay for the second movie with the same name, and this time, just as the first time, I actually ended up reading the screenplay before watching the movie, and I did that the first movie and screenplay as well, and I didn't feel like it took away from the experience. And since I was supposed to go to the movie, but then my friend got sick and we didn't end up going, I decided to actually pick this one up before watching the movie. I love this manuscript. I thought it was really cool. I love seeing more of the characters. Then the last book of this not too bad haul Is that the name of this video? I do not know, but it's not that bad. But that is Smelted Our Men by Hannah Blix. This is book 2 in the series called Äventyr Sagofallen. This is also a middle grade book. I really do love the cover for this one. It looks really cool. And then in the back, there's a tree with books in it. The books are literally growing on a tree. I mean, I want to have one of those right outside my window. In this one, we follow the siblings Sophia and Leo, and they once again have to save Sagofallen from the darkness. And this time around it's Smelted Our Men that's trying to take over, and they have to go sort of on a mission and try to stop it. And I did read this one in one day because it's not a very thick book, but it was really good. I do enjoy it, and I will definitely continue on with the series. So now, if I haven't forgotten anything, those were all of the 14 books I bought this month. Like I said, I'm really gonna try not to buy any books in the month of December, so hopefully I will not have a haul for that month. But you know, if I do end up with a haul in that month, you'll know then you'll know that I broke my word of not buying any books. But you know, we're not gonna do it. We're not. But yeah, if you have read any of these books, please let me know down in the comments what you thought about them, without spoiling of course. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we see each other next time. Bye!